This is far more than a campaign. This is the greatest political movement in the history of our country. It really is. There's never been anything like it. We're engaged in a righteous crusade to liberate this nation from a corrupt political class that is waging war on American democracy like never before. We've never seen anything like this before. If you put me back in the White House, their reign will be over and America will be a free nation once again. We are not a free nation. So we're joined today by some wonderful people. Republican National Committeeman Bill O'Brien. Bill, wherever you may be. Or Bill? I don't know where you are, Bill. There are a lot of people in here. Caroline Levitt, she's fantastic. Where is she? She is fantastic. Wow. You are something. I watch her on television just ripping people's hearts out. Thank you, Caroline. A man who I just think he's fantastic. He loves his state. More than any place, he loves his state. This is where he wants to be. He has a lot of options. He's done very well. But he loves you, and he loves our country, and he has so much to do with our success. Corey Lewandowski. Corey? Great guy. He's a great guy. And I'm thrilled to receive the endorsements of State Senator Kevin Avard. Kevin Avard. Where's Kevin? He's around here someplace. Thank you, Kevin. That's a beautiful endorsement. Thank you. I appreciate it, Kevin. We won't let you down. As I say, we will not let you down. You know what he wants? He wants success for the country, right? So thank you, Kevin. Former State Senate President and candidate for governor Chuck Morse is here. Chuck, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. About time you get rid of that governor of yours. And the president of New Hampshire Federation of Republican Women, Elizabeth Girard. Elizabeth? Thank you. Good job. Thanks as well to New Hampshire Moms for America Action and their commitment. They're incredible. Moms for America just gave me the award, by the way, Man of the Year. That's a big one. That's a big one. Thank you very much. Thank you. Also with us are the Gold Star family members of Marine Sergeant Nicole G., who gave her life in Afghanistan, an unbelievable person, her mother-in-law, Christy Shamblin, and her aunt, Sherry Jules. Where are they? Thank you, darling. Looking down, right? Looking down. Thank you. Incredible people. I got to know largely the parents and the relatives of the 13 people that were so unnecessarily killed, so incompetently run. There's never been anything like that. You take the soldiers out first. You're supposed to take the soldiers out last. And I had it set we were going to leave Afghanistan. We were going to keep the air base, Bagram, because it's 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. They didn't keep it. You know who has it now? China has it, one of the biggest air bases in the world. But I got to know the relatives, parents, and other relatives of these 13 people very well. We went to Bedminster, New Jersey, where I have a place, and they all came, and we listened to music all through the night. And they thought I'd be there and stop by and say hello for about 5 minutes. Oh, do you think he'll come? Oh, I ended up, what did I say, like 3 hours? We listened to music all night, right? And it was beautiful music, and they thought of their loved ones looking down. It was outside. It was such a beautiful night, right? And we'll do it again. We're going to do that again. They said, do you think he'll stay 15 minutes? I said, no, not 15. How about 3 hours? That's about what we were together with. It was a great, that was pretty great. But we love all of you, and we will never forget her sacrifice. In that case, she was a fantastic person in every way. For 4 straight years, I kept America safe. I kept Israel safe. I kept Ukraine safe, and I kept the entire world safe. As Viktor Orban said, he kept the entire world safe. He said they respected him, and America, when he was president, was feared. We were feared. It's not a nice word to use, but we were feared. They didn't play games with us, and now they laugh at us like we're a bunch of foolish jerks. What a horrible turn at stake. And we will once again have peace through strength when all of us become the 47th President of the United States. Okay? As president, I fully rebuilt the U.S. military, created Space Force. Remember, they didn't want Space Force. I said, well, if you don't do it, China and Russia are up there right now, and we've now taken it over. We've really dominated since the creation of space, but that was a big deal. The Democrats didn't want it. When Biden came in, he heard about Space Force, probably the first time he heard about it, and he laughed. He thought it was funny. He thought it was some kind of a war game. No, it wasn't fun. It's going to be one of our most important. First, think of it, first new area of division, first new thing that we created militarily for so many years. We were stuck in a very old-fashioned military, and now what we did with Space Force, I guess the first since 78 years, Air Force was the last, and then we did Space Force, and it's taken off. We're dominating now. We're dominating China, and we're dominating Russia, which are the two that are up there, and they were there long before us. So the creation of Space Force is such a big deal. And I was the only president in decades who didn't start a war. Instead, I got us out of wars and endless wars. And one of the wars I got us out of was a war against ISIS. We defeated ISIS. It was supposed to take 4 years, and I got it done in 4 weeks. Would you say that's good? Because we have the greatest military on earth. We have the greatest leaders, but not the guys on television. Not the ones on television. I'm the only candidate who can make this promise to you. I will prevent World War III. I will prevent World War III. Because our country has never been so unsafe. You're talking about the power of weaponry today compared to the Second World War and the First World War. It's times 1,000. Most powerful weapons ever even thought about, ever conceived, ever built. And we can't have a world war. And we're closer to World War III today than we've ever been at any time in our history. And the word nuclear is being thrown around every single day. When I was president, we didn't talk about nuclear. You couldn't talk about it. It was a word that was banned. You couldn't talk. Now they talk about it every day. We talk about it. They talk about it. And we will keep you out of World War III. World War III is not going to be army tanks going back and forth, shooting at each other, boom, boom, an airplane having a little fight in the sky. This is the big stuff. And if it's going to be total obliteration, we cannot have World War III. We will keep you out of it, and we'll keep you out of it because of strength, because of the strength that we have. But we have a man now negotiating for us. We have a man now negotiating for us who truly can't speak. He can't put 2 sentences together. They ask him a question at a news conference. He has no idea what the hell they're talking about. And when you look at what he did and what he says, even to Russia, when they did attack Ukraine, the way he spoke was so bad. I said, I think it looks like that's going to happen, because what he's saying is so bad. It's the exact opposite of what you should be saying. He can't put 2 sentences together, and he's responsible for negotiations on nuclear weapons in World War III. The guy makes a speech. He can't find the steps. They're all over the place. See this stage? This stage has 1, 2, 3, 4. Most stages have more than that. But in New Hampshire, they want to cut back on the costs a little bit. So they only give me 4 options. But when I'm finished, I actually pick one of the 4. He can't find the stairs. And if he finds them, he can't get down them. The whole thing is not believable. Can you imagine President Xi of China, powerful kind of a guy? They hate when I say that. Oh, you're saying nice things. Now, he controls 1.4 billion people rather ruthlessly, right? Can you imagine when he sees this guy walk into an office or walk? I wonder what he's. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. I'd like to hear what they. I will tell you. Number one, they can't believe it. But our country is in great danger. Most dangerous because of weaponry and because of where we are and all of the things that are happening. Again, Ukraine wouldn't have happened. Israel wouldn't have been attacked. Inflation wouldn't have happened. Oil price wouldn't have gone like that. You know, part of the reason that Russia could go in because at $100 a barrel, Russia's making a fortune. They'll be the only country to make money during a war. Wars are very expensive. But because of that, they drove it up. And this guy has no clue as to what's happening. We're at the most dangerous point in the history of our country, in my opinion. And unfortunately, I've been right a lot of times, you know. Remember the hat that goes, Trump is always right? I have been just about right. He said all the time, I have been right. And I don't want to make that prediction because I don't want it to be a prediction, but there's a real chance that we could be in a world war, and it won't be like any other, believe me. Together, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history. We built 561 miles of border wall and got Mexico to give us 28,000 soldiers free of charge, 28,000. I don't know now. It's a good time, and it is a Saturday afternoon, and everyone is like, what the hell are we doing on a Saturday afternoon? Does anybody want to hear the snake? You know, yeah? Should I do the snake? Those beautiful ladies from North Carolina, they've seen about 100 rallies. I don't know what the hell's going on with their husbands. Are your husbands... Do the husbands have a little problem with it? Should I do the snake? No, they've come to 100 rallies. This is their 100th, and they're incredible. They have a group of about actually 50 of them, and we appreciate it. How are we doing? How are we doing in North Carolina? Okay, good. We're doing good. I think we're doing good everywhere. You know why? Because, number one, I did a good job, but also, when you compare it to the incompetence that we have right now, there's more spirit right now than we've ever had before. So this is sort of a metaphor, and this is about people coming into our country who you know are going to be a disaster because they come from jails and prisons. They come from mental institutions and insane asylums. They always say, sir, please don't use the term insane asylum. You know what that is? Silence of the Lambs, right? That's Hannibal Lecter, the legendary Hannibal Lecter, and they're coming into our country now totally unchecked, unvetted. And this is very much as to what's going to happen, in my very humble opinion. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried, but if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying, thank you, ma'am, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense? Because get used to it, because this country is going to go through hell if these very, very stupid people are allowed to stay in office, it's a horrible thing that's taken here. They are indeed evil people because they know what's happening. They know what they're doing.